One of the crazier books I think I've ever read in my entire life seems on the surface pretty corny. And something that like 95% of most people would probably just kick off to the curb as no big deal, a bunch of horse shit, right? And they literally couldn't be any farther from the truth. The name of the book is The Science of Getting Rich. It's by Wallace D. Wattles. And he said something today that absolutely rocked my entire framework of thought. And it comes down to it should be the work of your leisure hours to use your imagination on the details of your vision and to contemplate them until they are firmly fixed upon your memory. So basically what he's saying is that you should use your time of leisure to imagine the details of your vision, the details of that reality, that dream life, that place that you want to be in your life, right? And firmly fix them upon your memory. And it got me thinking, because I was like reading the book and it's like literally a page before the chapter ends. And I was thinking to myself, what do I do in my leisure time? And I realized I'm probably scrolling way too much, consuming bullshit on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, stuff I don't actually need. And then I thought a layer deeper. How many other people are doing the same thing that I'm doing? And then I realized that basically the entire world is scrolling their life away. Basically, all of us are completely scrolling our life away because we're addicted to the algorithms on our phone. Everyone blames the phone. I blame our relationship to the algorithm because most people in all reality are definitely afraid of being alone with their own thoughts. And it drives them crazy, makes them lose their mind. But the reason why we don't have people running around burning down the cities unless some bullshit happens that no one actually cares about, the reason why we don't have that is because everyone has a digital pacifier to numb their mind. It's right in their pocket, 2 seconds, always an arm length away. And what I began to realize is that this lack of time spent in imagining our dream reality or our dream situation, that dream version of ourselves, the lack of time we spend in that is actually making us completely distracted. It's honestly stealing our life. That's really what it is. It's stealing our life because we're using it as a distraction, right? I described it again. It's a distraction. That distraction is holding us back from becoming the version of ourselves that we should be and could be. And that's why I think mental health crisis, although, again, if you just put your phone down, it's most likely fake. That is why there's so many people who are fucked up in the head. So many people who think they're going through a mental life crisis, when in all reality, all you need to do is put your phone down. You put your phone down and you get your life back. But no one seems to realize that. And until we do that, man, like, I don't know. This is why successful people, they always say, well, not everyone can make it. And they have a point, right? Hard work is hard work. But in all reality, not everyone's going to make it out of the scrolling addiction. Epidemic. Is it not an epidemic? Is it not? There's going to be many people who never make it out of their scrolling addiction. Think about that. When in reality, all they have to do is put their phone down, use their imagination, and work every day towards getting there. Be in tuned with the human side of themselves. You're not a human when you use this thing, bro. You're a cyborg. And of course, if you use it for work, that might be different than scrolling all day, don't you think, right? Obviously. When you're using that thing, you're a fucking cyborg. A big theme of the past probably 2.5 weeks for me has been being more human. Because here's the thing, man. Like, we are cyborgs. Look at me. I'm fucking recording this on a MacBook, which I think is the greatest invention to ever live. The MacBook is the greatest invention to ever live. And we need it for work. Especially for the work that I do. But there needs to be time away from the electronics. There has to be. My uncle, right? My uncle, when we would be up at his hunting cabin, he would always say, like, no electronics at the cabin. Absolutely not. Can't do it. Because we were connected with nature. And this is like years ago, bro. Now everyone has phones up there, right? It's different. We use them differently. Not everyone's addicted either, but we need to return back to being human, bro. I just saw a thing the other day. It was either Gen Z or someone. They filmed themselves. It was like a girl. They filmed themselves putting themselves in timeout. And it was a 15-minute timer, no food, no stimulation, no music, no phone. They were just sitting there being a human sitting with their own thoughts for 15 minutes. And it went crazy viral on Twitter. It went crazy viral everywhere else. And like, it got me thinking, like, I had this thought about being more human 2 weeks ago. There's other people who are resonating with this same ideology, the same thought process, because deep down we all know that our phones are ruining our lives. Not because they're inherently bad, they're actually neutral. We're allowing the algorithms to ruin our lives by becoming addicted to them, by pushing off this idea of being more human. And it's really fucking us up. It really is. I mean, you really think about it, the liberals, bro, God bless them, but those people, like, it's so clear they don't go outside enough. They're fat, they're blue-haired. And there's a whole other epidemic with white women becoming liberals, which we can get into that in another video. But just look at this, the stereotypical idea of what you think a liberal looks like. Fat, overweight woman, blue hair, not tan, negative attitude in life, on their phone too much. What do? They're always reposting stories because they still think that we're in the 2020 BLM era where you can post something on your story and it matters. Bullshit. You're not doing anything. You actually cared about these issues that you're fighting, you would go out in the world and do something about it instead of fucking post stories on your Instagram. Bullshit. The mind is warped into thinking that your actions are making a difference when in reality they're not. And that's a whole different sidetrack, but I think you get my point. You gotta put the phone down and use your leisure time not to scroll, but to imagine that reality of yourself, of your life, of your family, of your friends, of your job, of your business, of your girlfriend, of your wife, of your kids, of your bank account, of the world. You have to use your imagination to imagine that and shift reality into your favor, bend reality into your favor. Through the power of your imagination, your God-given tool to get what you want out of this life, not selfishly, but to show everyone else what's possible. In this book, he literally talks about that, right? You're meant for more. Evolution in the animal kingdom is a result of the excess of life. So, I wish I could read this quote real quick. I don't know if I can pull it up. I might not be able to pull it up. It's somewhere in here. In the animal kingdom, the excess of life produces evolution. Here it is right here. In the animal world, evolution is caused by excess of life. When an organism has more life than can be expressed in the functions of its own plane, it develops the organs of a higher plane, and a new species is originated. We are part of the animal kingdom. And until you realize that you need to fucking max out your stats in every realm, your mind, your body, your soul, your imagination, then you're going to be stuck in the same loop of doing the same old shit. You'll never evolve. A big part of the reason why we're not evolving as humans is because we've become cyborgs, addicted to the algorithms on our phone, when in reality they're neutral. It's our relationship to them that are fucking us up. So if you want to improve your life, then you need to get back in touch with your imagination and not spend your leisure time scrolling, but spend your leisure time visualizing and understanding that better version, that dream version of reality that you have the ability to bring to where your 2 feet stand today. I'll see you guys next video.